Hello and welcome to my in-depth video on the Dagobah Jedi training set. So this is one of the free dioramas that it was released and will come out in May, on May 1st I believe. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the rest of these in-depths for these sets. So I'll start off with the box art. It is the 75330, 1000 pieces, 18 plus, and I do quite like the black rebuilding. It's a bit like the UCS Star Destroyer and a few other ones of those, so it's that quite nice box art there. And yeah, Dagobah Jedi training. On the top of the box you can see Luke Skywalker, and on the side you can see a different image, and it does look pretty cool. It's also part of the diorama collection apparently, as you can see on the side of the box it says that, and that is something interesting that Lego may do more. I don't know, it might be something they do for, like, whenever a specific film reaches like 30 or 25 years old. But anyway, don't know anything more about that at the moment. But back of the box is quite cool, interesting. They include the thumb parts. Normally they don't do that on these images, because interesting that they've done that. I don't really like it. Like, I know a lot of people get it like this, but it doesn't look good at all. And you can see a different image of the set. You can also see it being reflected, which looks pretty cool. You can see the dimensions, which I'll talk about more, and the free images along the side as well. Look, not really the image I would have picked had I been doing like one for the hut. I probably would have done one of the hut. So the set is £70 or $80 or €80, which is kind of expensive. Like some of the helmet series, which are adults, are kind of similarly priced. But for 70 quid, that is still quite expensive. Like, it has 1000 pieces. It's just a lot of those will be the green pieces. And yeah, onto the minifigures. So this is the best shot you can get of the minifigures. And yeah, you can see 3 of them there, and I'll talk these through. They seem to be the same as the previous. I believe it's 75208 Yoda's hut, which is a playset. You have Yoda. It looks pretty much the same. I believe like the dots on his thing that are there, they're just slightly more emphasized on the new minifigure. Then we have Luke. I believe the Luke has different face printing this time, as well as no backpack, but other than that, seems to be the same. R2D2 does not seem to have changed much, and I believe this is with Lego's kind of, the minifigures don't matter for their UCS sets, which I don't really like. I quite like them whenever they do detailed minifigures for the UCS sets. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, you can see them there. I wonder if the RTD2 have back printing on it. It does on the trash compactor set, so that'll be something to look out for. But you can see it here. Pretty cool set. Admittedly, the tree does look kind of flat, and that's one of the criticisms, but I'll talk about that a bit more later. So you can see his hut. It's really nicely done. It does stand out quite well, because the rest of the background is quite 2D and it stands out. It does look to be really small. I'm guessing it's minifigure scale, albeit Yoda wouldn't actually fit in the entrance, which may be accurate, it may be not. You can see Luke upside down, looking like he's trying to lift something. You can see behind R2D2, they have this weird, supposed to be a lantern, I guess, or like a power cell thing. And the one thing I do like is the plaque on the front saying, "Do or do not, there is no try." And yeah, the frame around it is pretty nice. It is like the one from the Darth Vader's meditation chamber, which really could have been part of this series had they wanted it to be. And yeah, different angle, you can see it here. Yeah, it does look really cool. The tree does look really 2D, and that's my main criticism. And right, for the pond, you can see it here. It does look really nice and like a dark green. But when you see the actual images, it looks much more like a light green, and I think that's something you should definitely consider before you buy the set. I'll talk about that more a bit later. But yeah, the set's dimensions are 16 centimeters tall or 6 inches tall by 29 centimeters. So quite a reasonable thing. So it's roughly a foot wide, which is actually pretty big when you think about it. Like, it doesn't look that big, but it is decent. The interior is lacking, but I suppose you're not going to be displaying it from this side. You could have done something like, whenever you see him dying, that scene, which would have been nice, but I can understand why they didn't go much. They just have a spot for his lightsaber, and there may be like a fire off to his side. We can't really see from this angle, but the interior is kind of lacking. So you can see it here, somebody supposedly, I don't know, building it. Lego goes overboard with these images in my opinion. And then you can see it here. But you can see what I mean about the green being a lot brighter. I don't know why the images make it look so dark, and it looks much better in the images, but it is much brighter. The other thing is, you see like the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, one of the wheels looks to be slightly not attached well. Don't know whether that's just somebody hasn't built it well, or whether or not they've made a mistake with like the design. But anyway, you can see it here next to the other two, which I'll be doing in-depth of. Sorry, those will be late, as is this one. And yeah, so you can see it here, the plaque says do or do not, there is no try. And you can see here the green is really quite far off, and I think that is something Lego really could have done better. You can see it here, it looks so much darker, and the way I think Lego should have done it is you see the tree parts in the background, use that dark green for the bottom base, and then use the see-through green over that. That would have looked so much better in my opinion. Yeah, also for the like X-Wing thing, I think most of those studs will be attached, because looking at the trash compactor set, a lot of the pieces were attached there, so that's something I think Lego have somehow managed to do. But it does look to be a pretty nice set, other than the miscolored in the images, and I think that is something Lego kind of should have fixed. So you got Yoda's hut, this is an actual image of it, and I can kind of see what they mean about the height. R2-D2 is roughly the same, like, too tall as he was in the actual set, and yeah, they've moved like his looks camp and the X-Wing much closer to it, but I can kind of see why they did that to make it a much smaller set, even though it is still pretty big. But yeah, the piece count is something that I think slightly disillusioning, considering a lot of those pieces are just going to be the 1x1 see-through greens, as well as some of the like tree parts. But the trees, they could be better, they could be worse. Lego's leaf designs are always really hindered by stability, whereas some of the really nice mocks, like in mocks, they look so much nicer than leaves on trees. And yeah, do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you do, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.